Well, we went on a two-day bus trip to Nevada and got us a win. And kids did everything we asked, conducted themselves in a manner that was the utmost professionalism. We gave them expectations, and they followed them to a T. And you take care of every little detail, and a lot of times it results in a win. So hats off to them and the coaching staff, because they're the ones that did everything. So we put the game to bed at 7:45 this morning and moved on to Big Sky Conference play against the Northern Colorado Bears. So that's where we stand.
Rob, we're not going to let you go that easy. What most impressed you about your team's performance on Saturday?
Just
especially after you looked at the tape.
Well, they listened to everything that we started on the previous Saturday when we had our first Nevada practice, and carried all the way through from the week of practice. The manner, like I said, the attention to detail in practice, how they conducted themselves on the road. We didn't make it a big deal. Went on a 2-day bus trip, and we didn't, like I said, we didn't make a big deal about it, so it wasn't a big deal. It was just what we did, and we made the focus not on the trip. We made the focus on the game, and that's what they did. So we got some breaks that we needed. Like I said, to win these 1A games, you have to play extremely error-free, and we were not error-free by any stretch of imagination. The best thing about this is we have a ton to correct. And we got fortunate to get a few turnovers, and defense made some critical stops, and that was a big difference.
What does this win mean to the program?
We have to win this week. That win doesn't get us a ring. That gets us makes everybody feel good, but frankly, this week we're playing for a ring, and that's far more important than beating Nevada. Whether we win or lose in Nevada, that had no bearing on us getting in the playoffs or us putting ourselves in the position to win the Big Sky. Sac State beat Oregon State and Colorado a couple years ago and didn't win the conference or didn't make it to the playoffs. When I was at Northridge, we beat Boise State, very first game of the year, 62-22, and we ended up in 4th or 5th place in the Big Sky Conference. So it's fun, it's great, but I would take a win this week over Northern Colorado over Nevada 1,000 times, because it matters. This one does.
Has there been much fan reaction that you've seen firsthand or on anything like that?
I think so, but and it's great. I love it for the fans and the school and the kids. But I told the radio guys after, as soon as the game was over, as soon as we recovered that onside kick, honestly, fired up with the team. But you start thinking about, all I thought about was Northern Colorado all the way home, and what we got to do to win that game. But that's coach's world. We're weirdos. So you don't get the chance to enjoy victories, but it was one of those. Okay, now we got to play for the Big Sky Conference.
So you said you got a bunch of 20-year-olds to be very professional on a bus trip. How do you avoid the letdown with another bus trip? How do you get that momentum to carry?
Oh, we're flying. I love this. But you know what? We've set expectations, like I said, for these guys, and we have some really good leadership, and two in particular in the back of the room right there. And just when you give this team, and I'm going to go back to expectations, and you give them structure, that's what young men want, and you see the results of it. And we're very heavy on structure here, and so it showed up. It wasn't one of those things where an emergency didn't become an emergency when it happened. We headed off the path, say, here's what we're going to do, here's what we expect of you, and I said they acted in a professional manner.
Any scouting report or rundown on Northern Colorado?
Northern Colorado, yes, we've been on them for 2 days now, and they are a very good team. Offensively, they're going to run a heavier. It's more of a conventional offense that we've seen the last last 3 weeks from our opponents. They're gonna try to control the ball. They're gonna get up in what we call, or in heavier groups, more conventional, like with a tight end and fullback and stuff like that, and they're gonna try to pound you, but then they're gonna use that to draw you into the box and hit you up top. All 3 of their touchdowns against Colorado were big, long throws. And they have a great receiver, Alex Wesley, number 81. They have a very good running back who Coach Collins believes is one of the best he's ever coached. And they have a great return man, preseason all-conference return man, Hakeem Diggs, who was at the Big Sky conference down in Salt Lake. So they're very solid on offense. It's a different. Usually there's some carryover during the week with our offense and our defense, and we can practice a little bit against each other. This is a week that we can't. We're going to have to go strictly scouts because of it doesn't do us any good to go against our defense and vice versa. So usually we go against each other a bunch for speed, and good on good. But offensively, it's a different animal. We got to be good with our run fits, and it's like I said, different deal. Defensively, they're going to be similar to our previous opponent, but they still have some very tricky movements and blitzes that we're going to have to be on task, and we need some production out of our outside receivers. And if they come up and press our outside receivers like we think they're going to do, come out and play a bunch of man free, which is what our opponent last week adjusted to after we hit them early. We're going to have to have, like I said, a little bit more production out of the bunch out there.
Rob, can you comment a little bit about what you've seen out of UNC's quarterback, Nip? He threw the 3 touchdown passes. He was only sacked once.
Yeah, he's very well. That's a byproduct of what they do. Max protect, double moves, deep crossing routes, stuff like that, and he's very efficient for their system. He works it well. It's perfect for him. They use a heavy play action, or you can protect with 7 or 8 and throw those deep routes. Not unlike some of the stuff we did at times when I was at Montana, when we had big tight ends and big offensive line.
Any update on Ty Flanagan and his status?
No, he's taking care of business. I'm going HIPAA laws. Can't speak to injuries.
You guys are 11 of 11 in the red zone. Is there any?
Hey.
Yeah. Hope I don't jinx it. But any
scoring zone? Red. What do you do at a red light? You stop. We call it this. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. The scoring zone. We call it the scoring zone.
Any? Any key that you guys have been working on to make that happen, or just?
No, we just give it due diligence. It's part of the game. The way we look at things, and that's part of our game planning. You game plan third downs. You game plan first and second down. you game plan scoring zone. And no, it's something that you want to. And I thought Parker Johnson did a great job this year, continuing that with this weekend with hitting his field goals. That was huge. He misses one of those, we don't win that thing. So you want to come away with points, and we have a chart. I have a chart that I keep, and you want to come away. You want to score a touchdown. I want to say 67% of the time. You want to come away with points 80% of the time. And it's nice to have that when you get down inside the 25, the ability to put points on the board. You have to, and actually our defense last week stopped the opponent twice on 4th down inside. Now defense calls it the red zone. It's fine with me because they stop, yeah. But stopped them twice in the red zone, and that's huge. Also, they kick field goals there, different outcome.
Rob, I know Jerry kind of started to go into this with you a little bit on the post-game radio. Andy Burtonshaw was out. You talk about Parker Johnson kicking field goals. You had a backup long snapper, both punting and kicking, And he did, I mean, I didn't see any snap problems. I
No,
didn't see any.
I was waiting. You know, Ryan, that was his first. Ryan Gray was his first college game. You know, he played it as JC, but it's not the same as going against an FBS team. And it was one of those where
Little things.
it was. I didn't want to watch, but I had to. You know, and those. It's scary when you're in that situation, you know, with an unproven snapper, and he came through with flying colors.
I didn't actually watch the game. There was nowhere to watch it, but according to Jerry and Mark, you guys started off in a 3-4 defense, and you guys were kind of doing the same thing against Utah State, both kind of up-tempo offenses. Was that a change just for those?
I think it just
games?
fits. It fits our personnel better, and I think Spence and the guys did a great job of getting a package together for that. So they it just better fits who we have out there in terms of our depth and everything.
Is that something we're going to keep seeing, or are you going to?
Probably that's what they feel comfortable with, and that's probably the direction we're going. You know, everybody. I mean, here I'm looking at Northern Colorado's depth chart, and they listed as a 4-3, but they were playing nose guard defense. They did the same thing. So that's what we're going to kind of stick with, I believe.
I know Chance got ejected for that targeting, I guess it was in the first quarter, and since he sat out the rest of the game, is he eligible for the full game?
Yeah, you lose the next half.
Right.
So you get kicked out in the first half, you lose the second half. So if you're going to get kicked out at the end of the first half. Not really. I don't advocate that. Okay, but yeah, you don't want to get kicked out at the beginning of the second half. That's or the beginning of the game. You don't want kicked out ever. So.
What does this win against Nevada do for your team's confidence going into conference play?
I just think it puts a smile on our face for a couple days, and I think our kids know that. You know, once you get into the big sky, anybody can beat anybody at any time. There's no givens. You know, hey, we're still picked last. You know, we're not in the position to walk into anywhere at this time and say, hey, we're here. That's not we are picked by the media and the coaches to finish last, and we have something to prove if we can to the conference. So there's no gimmies, there's no mulligans. There's we have to work harder to get a win, and any win in the conference is a tough win. So, and if you look, we've won one or two games in the conference the last couple of years. So it's good. Like I said, we high-fived each other and sang the fight song, and today we're all starting at 4:00. We're all Northern Colorado.
In that locker room video, you were holding something.
That's a team deal.
Okay.
That's a team deal.
Sure. I had to ask it.
I know. That's a team deal.
Yeah.
I know. It's on video. Like, oh, no. But anyways, that's for us.
You guys getting some votes in the FCS top 25 mean anything to you, or?
We're still picked 13th in the conference.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's hey, it's there's no, like I said, we're picked 13th. These guys are gonna get tired of me saying that. Yep, and we gotta that's good, but we gotta win this one. So that's where we are. We're still last in the conference going into this. We're not first. Anybody?
Go ahead. Well, I mean, like Coach Finn said, it was great, but it's behind us now. We're just looking towards Northern Colorado. We got all the celebrating done in Reno, and we're looking forward.
Have you guys watched any tape on Northern Colorado yet? Can you tell us from a defensive standpoint a little bit what you have to do, who you have to stop?
They have some pretty fast receivers on the outside, and just like Coach Finn was saying, they'll hit you with some run stop, and their O-line will get at you, and then they'll hit you with some deep threat just to get you to stay like versatile. So we're not going to load the box and then all of a sudden load the box and they throw a deep pass on us. So we still have to kind of like just pay our base defense, and then they're just, I mean, just like any other game, they're just like Utah State. if they're gonna run the ball, we know what they're gonna do percentage wise, and then they're gonna throw the ball just like they did against Colorado as well. So.
Sounds like you guys are kind of transitioning back to the 3-4, which is what you had ran a few years ago. I mean, is that a big switch for you guys, or is it something that you already know well enough that it's not a big deal?
Yeah, the switch isn't too bad. It's all the same jobs. It's just different people in those jobs. So if you have a grasp on the defense, you pretty much should know what you're doing. And the coaches have done well with putting guys in those places. So.
Do either of your jobs change in that system, or are they the same?
Definitely mine. I was a DN basically for the first 2 games, and then I went back to the inside backer, and so that's what I played in the start a couple of years ago as well. But I already kind of knew a grasp on the defense, and I know it pretty well, so it wasn't a huge change for me.
So you went from the outside to the inside, and Joe, you're still on the outside?
I was kind of actually on the inside.
He was in my spot.
I was in the spot
I'm
Mario's
playing
in now, and now I'm on the outside. Yeah.
Is there a preference for you, Joe, inside or outside?
I mean, I like to do it all, but I guess I would prefer to be on the outside. Yeah.
It's been pretty good against the run this year. What's been the key to that?
Well, that's just one of our main focuses. Other than 3 turnovers a game, it's stop the run, and then on offense is to run the ball.
Yeah, we got a good front 4 in front of us that they do a good job holding up double teams and stuff for us to be free. At the same time as linebackers come down fast, and we can release stuff for them as well. It's kind of like a running back O-line thing. If you're nice to your D-line, then they're going to be nice to you in return. So that's how I look at it. I was a running back in high school, so I'm always with those guys. They're funny, and so they help me out, and I'm gonna help them out as well. So.
Are you sick of Coach saying you're 13th in the Big Sky Conference yet?
I just don't even listen to it. I don't even look at that kind of stuff. When people bring it up, I don't really look at it. I just look at us going into weekly games. 13th, I mean, I went to the Big Sky Conference. I heard all about it, and I'm not going to get mad over it. I'm just going to put a chip on my shoulder, and I'm going to just prove you wrong. And that's how sometimes life is. Like, someone tells you you're not good enough, and you're going to have to prove them wrong. It's whether or not if you get back up or if you can prove somebody that you have the most confidence and the ability to do something. So
I hope he says it every day. It's gonna make us want to go out there and not be 13th in the conference and show people that we don't deserve to be ranked that. So that's just one of our main goals, is to go out there every week and show that we're better than that.
It sounds like there were some fans waiting for your bus with orange juice and donuts and stuff.
That was amazing.
What was that like? Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, I just woke up and I wasn't really looking at that. I didn't know they were going to be out there, but when it happened, I was like, I'm about to get off the bus and have a donut and some orange juice. And the orange juice I've never tasted before. It was amazing. I swear.
Yeah.
I wish you could have had some.
it had to be the best breakfast.
I don't really eat donuts, but I did have probably 1 or 2. I'm not going to lie. But the orange juice was definitely fire.
Yeah, it was a great breakfast. Just waking up, I completely missed it going in to take my bag in, and then Tyson comes in like, hey guys, there's orange juice and donuts outside. I was like, what? And then we go look, and there's just more than enough for everybody. Everybody's grabbing 1 or 2, and the orange juice is there, and the guys are chugging it, and it was just a good deal. Everybody was just so happy to be off the bus, and just to have somebody there, clapping for you, excited. We've never had something like that, and we probably want to keep that going.
And that was at what, 7:30 yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday morning.
It's weird. But yes, it was at 7:30 yesterday morning.
So you say you want to keep that feeling going, but you got to get back to work. How do you avoid the letdown going forward?
It's always work. This game is a work in progress all the time, no matter what. You can be down one day and the next day you're up on your toes, rise and shine. But that's just how football is. That's what I was telling the guys on the sideline the whole game yesterday. I was like, this is what we live for. This is what we live for. I was like, if you do your job, we're going to come out on top, I promise you. And I promised them that. I said that in the first quarter. I was telling Joe, I was like, hey, if we do our job, I promise you we'll come out victorious. And that's what happened. That's what we did. And nobody was selfish. We were just kind of making plays, and we're aggressive. And it's emotional because when you're a senior and you're a captain and stuff, and you say things and they actually believe you and they trust you, that it can go very far. So
Yeah, and that's who we're doing it for, is all the guys that this is their last go around. And even for yourself, you don't know when it's going to be your last go around. You could get hurt at any moment. So that's just why we really go out there and play. And like you said, you just want to go out there and do your 111. And as long as we do that every game and everything matters, all the little things matter, and just stay focused on that, I think it should be a good season.
What did this win do for your guys' confidence?
I mean, just like Coach Finn said, it put a smile on our face. At the moment, it was great, like, because, I mean, they're an FBS team and you have a win. I treat them like any other team, like I'm going to feel the same way when we beat Western Oregon. I had a smile on my face. We were excited, and we did the same thing, and it was just a ritual thing. It's a W, no matter if it's by 1 point or 20,000 points. Like, it's just the same thing. And so we're going to treat it just like that, and it puts a smile on our face. And, yeah, for us players, it means a little bit different. As coaches are, all right, now we got in Colorado, But, like, we kind of hold it a little bit longer. But at the same time, once it's go time, it's go time. We're all right now. I have it behind me. Like, we have to do the press interviews in a little bit and stuff. But at the same time, we just got to look forward to this game. Now we're 0-0 again. We haven't won any games, haven't lost any games. So we're going to go into this week playing like that.